Steeler Nation, stop what you're doing right now. We have some breaking news. I kid you not. Massive rumor, but it's almost confirmed. We have Patrick Queen is going to be our new quarterback for the Steelers. Alrighty, Steelers Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. I just got done doing a live chat on the AFC North Roundtable. I will link that in the description below if you haven't seen that. It's a lot of fun. Steelers Nation Oz, Cincinnati, Zim. We had Chef Zay from the Browns, Bobby Baltimore, and we go live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. Now, near the end of the show, it kind of wigs out, but we had some good back and forth AFC North talking about weaknesses, strengths. I'm still pretty high on Wilson. I want to see him succeed. I understand the quarterback competition media going after it. Justin Fields. Look, I thought he played okay in the preseason. Offensive line didn't play the best. We now hear that Russell Wilson is going to be playing reps versus the Lions. I can't watch that game. I can't see the game versus the Lions. I'll be sleeping in, then getting ready for work in the morning. So it's your Saturday, my Sunday. Being 3 a.m., so I can't wake up. It's just too hard for me in that case. But I will try and watch the replay after work and, take some notes and, do a bit of commentary after the fact. But I'm pretty keen to get the Lions game over and done with. And then we're really starting to count down towards the season. That is those Steelers versus Falcons. And we're 0-0, right? It does feel like the last few days, everything's been under a cloud and everything's over and we're done. And we don't have a great team. But at the same time, it's getting pretty exciting, getting ramped up for the Falcons versus Steelers, right? But that's why I joke around and say new quarterback. Patrick Queen is here throwing the quarterback, and that's what it feels like with these rumors going around town now. It doesn't matter. It's almost like you can't escape them. You definitely can't escape. I saw one today. There was Minnesota Vikings going to trade for Russell Wilson. Then we get some kickback, and we use some of that draft capital or draft picks to go and acquire Brandon Ayuk. I feel like the Brandon Ayuk talk is over. I think that Omar Khan might be completely out of it. We're only a few weeks away from the season. I don't think it's going to fit our storyline or our the journey or the Steelers football season this year. I think Ayuk is on the out. I think that the 49ers will give him a contract at some stage. It has to happen soon because the whole NFL, every NFL fans at this point, they're done with it. They're over it, right? But I do joke, but that's pretty cool to see Queen there in their practice uniforms. New quarterback. I don't think he's going to be a quarterback. Really, the quarterback competition is I don't know if there is one, but it does seem that Wilson's got the upper hand. And all I can say is Mike Tomlin probably won't announce it to another few days before the game, but it looks likely that it's going to be Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson had a bit of an interview today, and I got a bit of not a clip, but I got a bit of tweet here from Pittsburgh that kind of breaks it down. He says, Russell Wilson is not panicking. First of all, it's preseason. I think there's always a highs. There's some things we've done really well, some things that we didn't need to do better, and that's for sure. Like, if you look at last week's game, a 9-3 game with the Buffalo Bills versus Russell Wilson, he didn't play good football. It was hard to watch. So he's very correct that the part they're playing, they need to do better. That's all part of fun in the preseason. You learn things and you translate that in the practice field as well. We'd be concerned if we hadn't had the level of practices we've had. So he's saying that there's been a high level of practice and maybe they're getting things together. And obviously, too, they're probably not showing everything on the actual football field in terms of game sense versus the Bills or versus the Lions. I'm going to show everything, all their cards at once. Had one of the best defense every day. That's TJ Watt and Minka. They show up and they verse them. So I think the best we can do about this is slow our minds down, play really clean football. So Russell Wilson isn't panicking. I think Steeler Nation is. I think the media is trying to throw him under the bus. And, they're calling that we're not going to win this. We're calling that they're not going to win the AFC North. We're going to come last. There's no chance. Stephen A. Smith is saying that we're going to be the worst team in the NFL. We're going to come very, very last. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of deniers, and you can have all respect to that. You can say that we're not going to be the best team. But it is interesting at this point, going through the struggles, the 2 losses, offensive line not being very clean. Now Jalen Warren with his injury, Zach Frazier stepping up into his role. He has to be the center now, and that's for sure. He's the center. So there is no backup behind him. Nate Herbig being out, Joe Fartana, he's coming back into right tackle. Do you put left tackle Broderick Jones? A lot of moving pieces in this new offense. I'm not really worried at this stage. Now, 4 or 5, maybe 6, 7 weeks in, if we're going 1-5, 2-4, then yeah, maybe start to worry and think, oh, is our season over? But we've got Mike Tomlin, we've got the running game, we've got the defense. Play strong defense with TJ Watt, play strong defense with Highsmith and Minka, and hopefully the offense can start to catch up. But I did enjoy what I saw last season in terms of run blocking. Broderick Jones played really good, and the fan base is like, oh, now he sucks. So there's all these different kind of things and narrative and storylines going into the last 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from actual football, and it's been fun watching the preseason. But once that's over, once we get the game done versus the Lions, and maybe hopefully we see some good reps from Wilson, and he can kind of like change the narrative a bit around his approach to the team. I'm excited about this team. I really am want to see these guys do the best that they can do. And those Steel fans out there just want to see them win football games and go on to win to the playoffs. But we have to enjoy the journey. But like I said, we're all worried about these rumors. New quarterback. The rumors have been really insane. Over I think even worse than last year. The fact that we're getting linked to the Vikings, now they need a quarterback, but there's no real reason why the Steelers would trade Russell Wilson right now. You have him at quarterback number 1. He has the experience. He should hopefully link up and play good football in his first game, second game, third game. Now, the preseason, it shows you some faults, some really bad plays. But overall, it's preseason football, and you get back to work and you start to really look. It hasn't begun yet. We're 0-0 versus the Falcons. So I'm not too worried in that sense. I don't know. I'm more keen to see what Russell Wilson can do. Now, in the AFC, on the episode of the AFC North Roundtable, I did discuss that quarterback might be the weakest area. Does Russell Wilson's failures from Denver come over to the Steelers? Does he hold the ball too long? Does he get sacked? Is he throwing incomplete passes? Is he getting rushed around the pocket a lot? We're going to figure that out shortly. Right now, you have to just take with a grain of salt preseason football and hope he can be Russell Wilson of the past with the Seahawks and not Russell Wilson of the past from a recent past from the Denver Broncos. So I'm pretty good with it. I'm keen to see these guys fire up. We have, I think, 17 days away from the season. So just to recap, I won't be doing a live versus the Lions this weekend. I'll be doing a post game, maybe the next day or in the afternoon, and we'll just talk more and more and more Steelers football. But in terms of Russell Wilson, yeah, it's going to be tough. I think he has shown some negative faults and some negative play. And hopefully he can bounce back out of that and be a true professional and start to link up with George Pickens and get this offense moving. And Arthur Smith, I don't think he's shown everything in his playbook just yet. Hasn't shown all his cards. Alrighty, Steel Nation, I'll check you guys later on. That's the big news today, is that Patrick Quinn is now the quarterback number 1. I'll see you guys later.